So in this rewind segment is a follow-up on my thoughts announcement of Arcade One finally doing a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 arcade. So this particular video was made in 2021, sort of a commentary on the showcase of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And technically, I kind of gave my thoughts about why this particular fighting game is so important, not only to the fighting game community, but to some extent overall. And that hashtag free MVC2 become truly free. Yes, again, it's already out with the one-up arcade, but are you gonna really shell out a lot of money just for this? I mean, not everyone, they rather just have it on modern consoles. So with that said, this is my commentary on the game and why they should bring it on modern console, plus sort of a tidbit rumor in the past that I read. But again, like I said, this is like a really far-fetched rumor, but again, the rumor was sold. But with that said, here it is. So this will be a bonus commentary on episode 232, Marvel vs. Capcom New Age of Heroes. But before I give my commentary on Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I want to do some correction on my commentary introduction of this game. First of all, one is when I said there was no hidden characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 playable, there was actually one, and it's Roll. Yes, the only one that became sort of a legit character from a hidden character is Roll. That was it, but the other ones are not. I mean, granted, she's actually an original character, so kind of see why there. But, you know, it is what it is there. So that was a mistake that I said no hidden characters are in the game, which is, again, sort of true, except for Roll. Second is, if you notice on my tag and on my end credit, the subtitle of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I misspelled ages, or I added an S. The real title is Marvel vs. Capcom 2 New Age of Heroes, not New Ages of Heroes. So I kind of went confused there for whatever reason, so dumb me to some extent. So yeah, so the actual subtitle is New Age of Heroes. So I'm well aware about that one, but when they did the graphic, by the time I finished, I'm like, yeah, kind of dumb, and it is what it is there. Yeah, so like I said, if we do a correction, there's a reason why. Because like I said, I kind of knew it after I finished the video, but I'm like, oh, well, no, I'm just going to correct myself. And again, to tip to anyone, if you find out and you see, oh, it's a mistake, just say, hey, oops, I'm sorry, I made a mistake there. Clarify things. Because again, a lot of people like that you're acknowledging that you made a mistake there. Some people, something they don't do that. So with that said, here it is, my commentary about Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So yes, partial reason why I did that showcase as well with Marvel vs. Capcom on the Dreamcast and some other Capcom classic games is part of it is, like I said, hashtag free MVC2. For me personally, if they do it, great. They don't, it is what it is. However, it's going to make a lot of people happy as well, Maximilian dude. And imagine this game, good online, whatever, or they're going to do something, maybe in 2022 and so on, now everybody can go to offline tournament, whatever, and then you get a reset, re-release, modern console of this game, then again, a lot of people are playing this, I know, unofficially, but it is what it is there. So that's one of the reasons. And another one is really, I saw one of Max's video about the casual versus, I guess, competitor players, the level. So for me, if you ever followed my thought channel, my secondary channel, every time I sort of talk about fighting games, there is always, to a point that sound like a broken record, and that is, I like fighting games, I like video games, I do play them, I know sort of the basic fundamental, but I am not part of the FGC, nor I'm interested, and I just like playing fighting games. And yes, believe it or not, to some extent, sadly, I do know the basic fundamental of a fighting game. That's it. And the backstory with Marvel vs. Capcom 2, or in general, the Marvel vs. series, is when I was young, me and my friends, from high school all the way to early college, we actually enjoy playing the Marvel Capcom fighting game. They were actually fun. When I first discovered Children of the Atom X-Men, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of fun. And then, of course, the sequel, Marvel Superhero, got better. And then all of a sudden, oh my God, they're pitting against Street Fighter, and then Marvel and Street Fighter, and then now Marvel versus Capcom. For a while, I mean, oh my goodness, I was like hooked on it. And when I was in college, Marvel versus Capcom 2. I like the 4-button aspect. It's actually much simpler for me. And of course, oh no, baby's game, oh, now they're kind of catering to the casual, which again, some competitive player, they don't like it when the game is towards the casual player because again, it's supposed to be easy to understand, hard to play, but the point is that you learn, it is what it is. That's what most FGC gonna say about it. So whatever, that's not really the point of this video. But for me personally, playing Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was actually the best one. And to a point that, remember, another video that I did on the Thought channel is the closing of an arcade that's close to my heart, James Game. Because when that game came out there, every time I go there, that's the first thing I'll play when it was released. And I enjoy it. I always say, I wish it's going to be in a console or maybe home so I can play it. And believe it or not, I actually have like the PS1 version of X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Marvel Superhero vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom. Granted, they're way different due to the RAM. And of course, you have the Sega Saturn version. I don't know if they came out or not. X-Men and Marvel, the Versus series. It comes with a 4 gig RAM pack. That's really it. So, again, it is what it is. That's just how it goes. And of course, the Dreamcast had Marvel vs. Capcom, the perfect arcade port. You saw my showcase. And then, of course, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. And the showcase that I showed was from the Dreamcast version. And I do have the PS2 version because they finally came that out. And then, of course, later on, credit to Backbone, they did the PS3 version as well as the 360. And then after that, they lost the license, so it gets delisted. So, kind of sucky, but it is what it is. Yeah, that's gonna be like a pain in the ass if you like look at on your, especially on the PS3, on your download list, like where's the game? But that's a different story there. So that's to a point that how much I'm a fan of the Marvel vs. series. As of right now, not so much. I did enjoy Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and its enhanced version. Of course, the poor sale for that because, why not do a DLC? This is not 1999. But again, it is what it is. So I kind of enjoyed it because they made it more simple. It's like Tatsunoko vs. Capcom. Half of the rosters are new. And then, of course, when it came with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, yeah, like I kind of gave my thoughts about it multiple times already. The gist of it is, not a fan of it. I did try to go back, trying to finish the story mode, and oh my gosh, I'm sorry, man. It was boring. It was boring. The story was boring. The game itself was like, what the fudge is this shit? Man, I'm sorry, that sucks. So, of course, hashtag free MVC2. Should they? Yeah, if Capcom and Disney are smart, people want money. This is something that I can't even say it's a Chris Prager conspiracy. For just in case for some people they don't know what that is when I keep saying the Chris Prager conspiracy, I'm gonna put the video on the description box. And what it is I'm gonna give the gist of it is former Nintendo Treehouse employee kinda spilled the beans unintentionally, that's the keyword there, on a podcast. Wow, this guy's like very casual. Anyway, they kind of said about why at one point Nintendo of Japan did not want to bring Xenoblade Chronicle for the Wii in the US. And what they said was, yeah, I know fans are gonna like it. I mean, you keep hearing it, but they kind of think like, I think all the fans are saying this or just the minority, the very loudest. And again, remember, the assumption all the time when somebody voiced their concern or whatever, the loudest chances are going to be the minority. Is that true? Nope, not always, but to credit to Adam Sessler, he kind of said like most people will say it's just a belief that that's what it is. Technically sort of an assumption, but again, that's how it is. Business 101. And that kind of Chris Pranger basically said was, yeah, we know that you want, your money so you can bring Xenoblade Chronicle for the Wii outside of Japan, but is that everyone doing it? Like, that's always have a business assumption that, especially the Japanese, to some extent, that do they really? Or is just one or two people just so loud that they're going to do it? That's what the Chris Pratt conspiracy is. When it comes to Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I don't think this one's going to have a Chris Pratt conspiracy, this one. I mean, a lot of people, whether FGC, competitor, casual like myself, yeah, this game, in my opinion, should be released on modern console, whether PS4, PS5, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One, heck, PC, heck, even the Switch with, what do you call that, crossplay? Because I think it's even going to be on the Switch. I mean, for crying out loud, I think a Dreamcast game can run on a Switch. I mean, yeah. So they're going to guarantee this game's going to make money. But second, if you have an improved rollback net code, quality of life type of thing, like they're going to improve the game, because to some extent, the PS3 360 version, it was a bit improvement from the Dreamcast with online. From what I'm saying, the online is actually above average good. Never tried it, but again, yeah, but you can't get this game. It's not even able to play it on the PS4 because it's not backwards compatible. And I said on the previous episode of the showcase, I'm surprised they didn't even do a PS2 to a PS4 programming. Granted, maybe the Marvels thing, but that'd be fun if we did. But the bottom line is that if they re-release this with a quality of life, then I guarantee you people will buy this game. They'll buy full price. If it's $20, people will buy it because they're kind of more accepting now because of the story behind of the game development. So if they improve the game, you got all the characters, good rollback netcode, they're probably willing to pay $20. I mean, heck, maybe even $30. And I'm just like, whoa, that's going too far. But you gotta keep in mind the company wants a lot of money when they do this thing. So it has to be vital. You gotta keep in mind, maybe they have to renew their license. I know One Up Arcades is doing it with their arcade. And heck, there's even now, I just saw this on their website, a tabletop version of Marvel vs. Capcom. So if you're like a Uber gamer, if you need a Uber nerd style coffee table, there you go. Just saying. Like I said, for this one, I really don't care personally whether this game's going to be re-released or not, or they should or not. But again, like I said, kind of show that, hey, a lot of people want it. A lot of people want it. And I'm just trying to spread the word. More people, the more the merrier. Spread the word about this. Again, because for me personally, it's going to be interesting if they actually did listen, whether it's Capcom, Marvel, or Disney. Again, there's a lot of money from this tournament. Imagine 2022 and so on. So, I mean, there's already been talks about this. And heck, even I was watching AEW wrestling. There was a guy with that sign that said free Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So, again, it is what it is there. So, with that also, I guess I'm going to also talk about a little tidbit about Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for the PlayStation 2 and for the Xbox original one. So, of course, like I said, the game did come out for the Dreamcast in 2000. And then by 2001, 2002, I think, I can't remember, the PS2 released. However, I read this on an EGN. I don't know if it's true or not. Could be also on the internet also. Who knows? But I read this on the EGM, Electronic Gaming Monthly. It's a magazine. So, I mean, that's like in early 2000, video game magazine like Nintendo Power. It's sort of a video game medicine to video game in the internet, just saying there. Anyway, whatever. I'm trying to be funny here, but I failed. Womp, womp, womp. So anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that there was a rumor that the PS2 version and the 360 version was going to add some more characters, a console exclusive character on those versions. I mean, you kind of seen it before, especially in the fighting game. So I'm going to stick to this one, the fighting game Street Fighter Alpha 3 for the PlayStation had some new characters. Got Guile, T-Hawk, DJ, and Fei Long, and other ones. Tekken also did that with Gon and some other characters I can't remember. SNK, to some extent, some of their games have characters that's only exclusive on the console. The one I can think of is King Fighter 11, had some characters from Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. So you kind of see what I'm getting here with the console exclusive characters. Sort of interesting. It's an awesome trend, but now because it's most fighting games that used to be in the arcade are now in console. So Street Fighter 5, Street Fighter 14, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance, and etc., etc., etc. there. So the story is that there was a rumor that beside the base roster character, the character that you get to play from the get-go, no hidden characters, except for Roll, because she was a hidden character in Marvel vs. Capcom. All the hidden characters wasn't in the game. So there was a rumor that they were going to add in the hidden characters. They're going to actually give them sort of legit names. Marvel Superhero vs. Street Fighter for the PlayStation actually had the name. They actually had names for the hidden characters. So there was a rumor about that, they're going to be Armored Spider-Man, that's what the black and white is. US Agent, Mephisto, as well, in Marvel vs. Capcom. Remember the Red Venom, which is supposed to be Carnage. Orange Hulk, there was a rumbling rumor it's either Grey Hulk or Red Hulk. Again, based on the comic. I could be wrong, maybe because, that's a long time ago. And then War Machine, their gold War Machine, was supposed to be a War Machine Mark II that his armor is made out of gold. Again, iron, gold, I don't know. That's why it's gold War Machine. Again, I don't know if it's true or not. Remember, this is Capcom's version. I mean, for crying out loud, the Sentinel there is supposed to be a special Sentinel from the Capcom verse. Just saying there. And of course, in the Capcom side, in Street Fighter versus Marvel Superhero, Dark Sakura and Mecha Zangief, of course, those two are actually in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 by via transformation. And then, of course, Shadow. And then in Marvel vs. Capcom, you got Roll, which is actually in the game. And then you also have Shadow Lady there. So, I mean, heck, they made an appearance in Street Fighter 5. Kind of funny there. Kind of make a reference, but that one, and as well as, I think people call this either Morgan Lilith, Morgan, whatever. It's technically Morgan with Lilith color scheme and Lilith moveset, from what I understand. I mean, it is what it is, kind of weird. Why not just put in Lilith, but whatever. They were going to put those characters in. And there was even another rumor that you get to play as Onslaught. Of course, Cyber Kuma also, that's another rumor one. And of course, Onslaught, I think, if I remember, you get to play as Onslaught. I don't know which version. But whatever. I mean, like I said, all I'm saying about here is just a rumor that, like I said, the gist, let me reiterate that there was going to be more stuff on the PS2. And rumored they're going to add in the hidden characters, the bosses from the previous game, and there you go. But of course, what happened was it was just the Dreamcast version, because I think there was a story about some sort of licensing issue at the time now, there was something happening. I don't know, just a long time ago, so that's what it is. So that's sort of a tidbit for that one, because yeah, it is kind of interesting that, hey, look, they're trying to improve the game. So what I'm just saying is, if they are gonna consider doing a re-release for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, they should kind of improve first the netcode. Gotta do the netcode, and then the balances. Gotta make them more balanced, no broken combos, whatever. Improve quality of life. Add more characters, just more existing characters, like the hidden characters. Make them legit. Make the boss playable to some extent. Make the game also widescreen, 16:9. I'm just saying that, but again, I'm just throwing a suggestion there, but who knows? But if they're thinking about doing a re-release, so right now there is really no word. That a lot of people that used to work for the game said they're listening, hey, they want to do it, but from Capcom, Disney, or Marvel, it was nothing for them. So no, no bueno there. So, yeah. Oh, man. So we'll wait and see what happens there. For me, again, one last time, it doesn't matter. But I know a lot of people do love this game. So, like I said, one last time, if you are a fan of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, you are a fan of this game, follow Maximilian Dude. If you already do his campaign, help him, let your voice heard, hashtag free Marvel versus Capcom 2. Just let your voice heard, just be loud about it. Just, I mean, respectfully consider it. Tell Capcom, Disney, or Marvel. They probably are well aware, but again, there's probably more than meets the eye they gotta do, and we'll just have to wait and see what's gonna happen. But it is there. People are listening. Key people who worked on the game are listening. So there you go. So yeah, this is gonna be a commentary about Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Again, like I said, I kind of want to give my backstory of why. For a while, I was doing some sort of hint for this game, as well as some sort of random Capcom game. Well, it was just coincidence there, but it is what it is. So with that, I'll see you guys later.